Hey y'all, my name is Lisa Williams. I'm with the HTX home team of Southern Star Realty, and I wanted to make a quick video because I've been getting a few clients who have broken leases, and the reason is because of repairs that weren't made by either the management company or the landlord. And I just wanted to give you a few pointers on how to prevent that from happening. Now, the first thing we want to do is just make sure that we continue to pay the rent. Even though there are repairs that need to be made, we have to continue to pay the rent. You're going to end up with a broken lease on your credit if you don't pay your rent. Now, the next thing that we want to make sure that we're doing is reading the lease completely. Make sure that at least once you move in, just make sure that you read the lease from front to back so that you know what the policies and procedures are when it comes to getting repairs completed. The lease tells you what the landlord's obligations are to you and what your obligations are to the landlord. Remember, a residential lease is a contract. The third thing is now that you've read the lease and you know what the protocol is for making repairs on the home, you need to make sure that you're following whatever that protocol is. Like, say if you have a portal where you submit the request online, if you have to go into the office and give a written statement, if you have to call your landlord and verbally tell them, just make sure that whatever the protocol is for you making the repairs on your home, that you are following that protocol. Also, remember that when you're giving notice of repairs that are needing to be made, it will also state in the lease what the landlord is responsible for, because in a lot of cases the landlord doesn't cover a lot of things, especially if it's something that's caused by the tenant. For example, say if the landlord provides a refrigerator to you, it may state in the lease that if the refrigerator goes out, they're not going to fix it or replace it. It's up to you to fix it or replace it. Sometimes they charge a trip fee for them coming out. Just know what the protocol is and what the requirements are to have that repaired. Now that you know what the correct protocol is and you've gone through that to let your landlord know, they have a certain amount of time that they can take to make sure that those repairs are completed. Now, if that's not done, what you can do is make sure you give them a written notice and you have a copy of the written notice that you've given them. And if they still haven't made repairs within a decent amount of time, then you need to go to the post office and give your landlord a certified letter with a return receipt with a copy of the letter that you sent them, so that you can have documentation that you did notify your landlord that repairs. If after you send them a certified letter and they don't do anything, then I will go ahead and send them another certified letter and go ahead and contact legal advice from a lawyer or attorney. You're living in the home and it's jeopardizing your health and safety. You've contacted your landlord several times and they chose to ignore you. You now have the option to terminate your lease, use a portion of your rent to make repairs, or sue them in court to have the repairs done, which all three things you need to speak with an attorney about before you do. Remember, this is a legal contract, so you need to seek legal advice on what steps you need to take next. If you choose to walk away and not pay and you're under contract with this landlord, you don't have documentation. Do what you need to do on your end to protect yourself from a landlord who has you living in a condition that jeopardizes your health and safety. Once you've gone through everything, your landlord can either make the repairs and everybody's happy, you continue to pay your rent, or you can seek legal advice and your lawyer would let you know whether you need to terminate your lease, use your rent to pay for the repairs, or sue the landlord so that he can make the repairs. Whatever the outcome of that is, at least you're protected legally, but you don't end up with a broken lease on your record. You can go through the courts to make sure that that's taken care of. That's the best way to prevent having a broken lease on your credit for repairs. Another way you can have a broken lease on your credit is if you don't put in your notice to vacate. On your lease, remember you read it, so it should let you know that you have a 30 to 60 day notice. That's the standard to vacate the property. And you need to let your landlord know that, hey, on this date I'll be out. Make sure on that notice to vacate you give them a good forwarding address. The reason you want to give them a good forwarding address is because whenever it's time for them to return your deposit, they can send your deposit to that address. Whenever you move out, make sure that you do a walkthrough of the home and you document it with either pictures or videos. So if your landlord decides to keep a portion of your deposit, you can look at your pictures and videos for proof and say, okay, he said I messed up the carpet. Well, I have video and picture right here that there's nothing wrong with the carpet. You can have an argument with the landlord on that. The landlord needs to provide a reason why he's keeping your deposit, or he needs to return your deposit within 30 days. Now, if he does not return your deposit within 30 days or give you an explanation on why he isn't giving you your deposit within the 30-day window, then you need to contact him and see what's going on. You have grounds to sue your landlord for 3 times the amount of your deposit plus legal fees. Again, you want to seek legal advice on how to pursue that. If that's the case, I would hate for something like that to happen to someone. If a landlord chooses to keep your deposit, which isn't fair, without an explanation, then you need to go ahead and seek legal advice on how to get your money back and get your legal fees paid for. I really hate that so many people are having issues with broken leases, especially if it's something that the landlord is not repairing on the home. Guys, I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. This is just, something to help you guys out. I wouldn't try to do anything on my own. I wouldn't just walk away from my home because the landlord didn't make repairs. Again, guys, my name is Lisa. I hope I was a help to you guys. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and I look forward to providing more information to you in the future. Thank you so much. Bye.